Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be comparing the 2018 Chevy Camaro ZL1 to the 2021 BMW M3 Competition. So starting up front, we have Chevy's LT4 and BMW's S58 engine. So the LT4 is a 6.2 liter supercharged V8. Meanwhile, the S58 is a 3.0 liter twin turbocharged inline six. While you have the option to get either of these cars with a manual transmission, this ZL1 has a 10-speed automatic transmission and the BMW has an 8-speed automatic transmission. Because these are both my personal vehicles, they are obviously not stock, so I'm going to explain to you guys what it was like modifying each car and what mods I have on them. Making 750 wheel horsepower, my ZL1 has quite a few modifications to it, but to sum things up, it has a ported blower, we have a throttle body, we have intake, upper pulley, fuel system, E40, a tune, headers, and there are a lot more mods to this car, especially when you get into suspension and all of that stuff. But to sum it up, for this vehicle, I have done quite a good amount of modifications to get to that horsepower. Meanwhile, as you guys can see, the BMW is pretty freaking stock. The only thing that I have done to this car so far are the front mount intakes from RK Tunes and downpipes and exhaust and tune. I want to assume that this car makes somewhere around the 650 wheel horsepower range. I am not sure because this car hasn't been dynoed yet or anything, but that is pretty crazy considering all of the mods that I did to the ZL1 compared to this car. Like, you open the hood and all we see are intakes, so that's pretty wild. So now I'm going to get into what it was like modifying both of these cars, because the experience was quite different from a German car to compared to an American car. Easily the main difference between modifying both of these vehicles is tuning them. So if you guys don't already know, the S58 platform comes with their ECU locked from factory, which is really annoying because you can't get into really tuning it without taking out the whole ECU, sending it to Femto in Finland to get it unlocked, and then you can go about tuning them. As far as the ZL1 is pretty old school and you can just tune it right away. No issues with that. So that is the biggest difference, because that is very costly. If you guys don't know, it's usually well over $1,000. So that is a very, very big downside when it comes to modifying and actually tuning this car. Exterior wise, the ZL1 is very aggressive, which is my favorite thing about the car personally. It's very American muscle and it's a coupe, which I think is a lot of the reason for that. Meanwhile, you have the BMW, which the main difference here is that it's a sedan, and this is an insane difference when you are so used to driving a coupe and going to a sedan. You have all of that space, especially for my dog Moo, but it has made an insane difference in my life having a sedan. So that is definitely one plus, is having two seats in the back. Well, I guess you have that with the ZL1, but anyways. And then moving on, this is insanely under debate, but one of my favorite things about the BMW is the front end, especially the grille, which a lot of people hate on, and I guess I could understand because at first I was not a fan, but now that I look at it, I am actually obsessed. Both cars, exterior-wise, look insanely aggressive in their own ways, and that is what I love about them. At first glance, when you get to the interior of the ZL1, it is a little more outdated, I want to say, than the BMW. We have the more analog style instrument cluster, and then we have the smaller screen. It's definitely a lot less techy than the BMW. You still get the ambient lighting, which is really nice. We have Alcantara, and then a major difference in both of the cars are the seats. So in the ZL1, we have the Recaro seats compared to what I'm going to show you in the BMW. Because this is a coupe, we don't really have that same backseat space as we do the BMW. That also comes with a lot of blind spots because we cannot see out of this car really well. When you live in Arizona, it is really hot, and the best thing about this car for that is the fact that it not only comes with heated seats, but it also has the option for cooled seats, which is insane, and I don't get that in the BMW. And then with this car, we do have one camera, and that is going to be the backup camera. And that is about it for the ZL1. So stepping in to the M3, at first glance, we have the carbon bucket seats. One of my all-time favorite things about this car are the carbon bucket seats, and I made sure to get that when I was looking at M3s. So we have that first and foremost. Downside is that you don't get the cooled seats option. Meanwhile, the BMW has so much technology. It is actually insane, and it's something I'm really not used to. There's so much technology in this that I still haven't learned yet. A lot of things in here. In the BMW, we get the digital gauge cluster and infotainment center, and then like the Camaro, we also get the ambient lighting. However, a cool thing about this car is that in the bucket seats, these seats actually light up on the M3 logo. With the insane technology in this car, it not only comes with a backup camera, but it also comes with a 360 view, plus a front and a rear camera, plus the front and rear parking sensors. Another difference to this car is it actually has an automatic trunk feature, which is insane compared to the ZL1, because I have been driving that for so long now. I never realized that I needed an automatic trunk as much as I do now. This feels seriously luxurious to me. So that is really nice. And then when you want to close it, isn't that so nice? With that, you also get back seats. So when I want to bring my dog somewhere, she can just hop back here. I can put whatever I want to in the back seat. This makes it so easy. And having this as a second car, I can drive more people around. I don't have anyone complaining about getting in the back seat. So this is a huge plus to having a sedan. Moving on to drivability of both of these cars, I am not going to be taking them out today because I didn't really plan that really well. So I'm just going to give you guys the basics. So first of all, I'm going to go with comfort. So with the BMW, I get a lot of questions asking if the carbon buckets are uncomfortable. In my personal opinion, they're really not that bad. I did a whole drive from California to Arizona, longer than 5 hours, and I wasn't in pain until like the last hour, but the carbon buckets in the BMW are really not as bad as people think they are. Moving on to the Camaro comfortability. So with the Camaro, you obviously have the Recaro seats. They're all Alcantara. They are very comfortable compared to the BMW. I can go on a drive for over 5 hours, like I said, and be comfortable the entire way. I have no issues with these seats whatsoever. To me, they're personally really comfortable, but I guess that's just me. And there's that with comfortability of driving it. Ride quality, when you're comparing both vehicles, the ZL1, I have track focused suspension on it, and it does ride a lot stiffer than most cars. So if you have a Camaro ZL1, you can compare it to that. Not so ideal for just daily driving. And we have the BMW, which is completely stock. The only thing I've done to it suspension wise are the KW height adjustable springs. And with those, I really don't see much of a difference. It rides a lot smoother than the Camaro. Main difference driving them performance wise is that the BMW I've found has been a lot more responsive with the shifting. It's a lot snappier. And then we have the Camaro, which I feel like is not as responsive as the BMW is. Overall, the ZL1 feels a lot more laggy in that aspect. However, when you compare the sound of the exhaust of the two cars, the ZL1 has the BMW beat by far. Personally, I have never really liked how the S58 sound, and they just have always been a little raspy and just not it for me. The ZL1, you have that pure V8 sound. It's a lot deeper in noise. It's a V8, and that is going to sound way better than this car ever will. So we're gonna do a little startup and rev test for you guys to show you the difference. Well, that about wraps it up for these two cars. A lot of you guys ask me which car is my favorite, and honestly, it's really hard to decide because there are so many different things I like about both of them. So I hope this video explains that all to you guys. As always, like and subscribe if you want to see more content from me, and have a great day. Damn, that was fire intro. What do you think about that? What do you know about that, huh?